Hey guys, Connie here from The Painted Photographer. We're here to do another video. This is a collaboration with some of the creative friends that I have, and they're in Sonnet's Creative Connection group, and it is an amazing group. It's an amazing group of people that have the same interest. We like the same things. We can talk about the same things. We can be, every week we meet on a Zoom call and we can talk for 2 hours and never run out of things to say. It's an amazing group, and we're doing a collaboration so that we can teach some of the members how to get their YouTube channel out there. So check the playlist below and go watch them all. They're very talented ladies. Some of them are just a little shy in front of the camera. Not me. I received my items from Julie Weber, and she sent me a sweet little note. She is from This Little Life with Julie, which is so sweet. I just really, really like that name. Such a sweet gal. And she says, "Happy flipping. Can't wait to see what you do with these little treasures." So I'm going to show you what treasures she got me, and then we're going to flip them. I don't know. She gave me kind of a challenge. The first is a couple of spindles, wood spindles. We all know what we can do with wood spindles. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Wish me luck. She also sent this rusty, crusty flower. It is all put together and it's rusty, crusty. And I don't know. She wants me to paint that or flip it. I don't know that I can. It's all good. Maybe I'll just add a little bit of color, but I love this rust. Can't cover that up. She sent this tray. I already painted it because I had some leftover paint from that video. And so I already painted it with Sweet Pickins milk paint. And it was just a metal tray, silver metal. So it cracked and left kind of a funky finish. I'm not done with it yet, but it's a sweet little tray, just a metal tray, but now it has a lot of crackle. And so that's kind of a cool finish. It was done with Sweet Pickins milk paint. Then this, guys, this. What am I supposed to do with this? I love it. I love that she challenged me. She must know I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her. She's going to have to really think outside the box. Well, she did it. So I have been racking my brain ever since I opened this package as to what do I do with this? You have to follow along because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm kind of stuck. We're going to figure it out. She also sent this little picture frame. It's a long picture. It says brush your teeth. It needs a makeover. It is one of those that you can buy in a Hobby Lobby. It needs a makeover. We can do that. That's not a challenge for me. And this last item, it's not a challenge at all. I don't want to touch it. It's amazing. It is amazing just as it is. Look at this. She sent me this. Look at that rusty, crusty handle. Really, Julie? I'm supposed to paint this or flip this? Can I just put flowers in it? Is that okay? This is mine. This is totally mine. Nothing is happening to this sweet baby. Like, oh, it is gorgeous. I just love everything about it. Thank you, Julie, so much. I really, really appreciate getting all this rust and crust. It's my jam. Now, let's move forward and see what I do with it. It's gonna make me cry to do something with this, but we'll figure something out. See you at the end. Here we are with this metal platter. It was metal, and again, it was just a thinner type metal. It's not stainless steel or anything like that. I painted it with milk paint prior to filming for the video. I went ahead and sanded it a little bit, and then I took some IOD inlays from the Saint Germain and the Rose Botanical. I wanted the words behind the floral, so I put those on with the transfer stick. You just rub them right on until they come off. Going over milk paint with the transfer, it goes on so easy. There is no effort whatsoever. So I put those 3 words on, and then I went back in and I put the Saint Germain transfer on top of the words. The transfer paper comes right off, and then you burnish it a little bit. We're going to go into the outside of this tray with some pennies from heaven. This is a DIY product, and it just added a little bit of a metal touch to the outside of this tray. Since Julie had sent me some rusty crusty stuff, that was what my theme was here, is going to be garden related and rusty crusty. So I went in with some clear wax right over top of the dried pennies from heaven and the IOD transfer. I did put some dark wax onto the tray just to give it a little bit more age. Again, we're going for that rusty crusty look. And with all that crackle from the milk paint, it's just looking amazing. But I wanted to add a little bit more crust. So I went in with some more dark wax and getting it all over the edges. And then I went with the DIY Warm Dust, which is new. And it has like a rust patina to it. It is so good, guys. And so I just added that dust into the dark wax. Again, you have to add the dust into wax. You can't just put it on. It has to melt or stick into something. So then I just added that rusty crusty look and let that dry overnight, buffed it off, and we have a beautiful rusty crusty looking tray. For this next project, this was my challenge, this hammer hook. It was so cool. I really like that Julie challenged me with this, and I really did like this piece. It took me a while scratching my head to figure out what I was going to do with it. But I went and took some beadboard, and I just wanted to sloppily put a coat of paint on there. I didn't really like the stark white, so I added some Fancy Farm Girl and kind of made it like a sagey green color on top of that leather. Then we're going to distress it back and pull some of that paint off of that and showing that fun worn leather that's underneath there. I gave it a coat of Big Top because what I'm going to do is put a transfer on here, and having Big Top on your paint really helps it to adhere. But make sure your Big Top is completely dry. This is Painterly Floral. I want you to know that I take packing tape and I make a little envelope out of all my transfer packages, so then they don't fall all over the place. They all stay right inside their little envelope. I cut this transfer apart with this lavender. This is all the lavender I had left, so I am using what I have and making a really cool looking floral design on this hammer hook. After sanding the transfer down to give it an age look because of this worn leather, I went in with clear wax. Waxing leather is really good for it. And then I took the dark wax and I just went over top of everything and gave it more age. What do you think of this project? So I do have to have something to adhere this to. I'm going to go back in with my fancy farm girl and my bead board, and I'm going to blend those colors together just on this board, this scrap board that I had. I'm going to blend those colors together, making like a sagey type of a green. It's just lighter in color than the fancy farm girl and gives it a more artistic look. Then I'm going to take my Feathered Friends rice paper and I'm going to fussy cut out all these birds. Yes, I did. And it was not that bad. You just have to make sure that you're turning your paper and not your scissors. So keep your scissors in one spot and then just turn your paper. Now we're going to go in with the DIY liquid patina and we're going to adhere those birds right onto the top of that scrap board and giving them a small little place to perch. After that had dried, I sealed it up with some clear and dark wax and then added the hammer hook and a little insulator glass. Don't you think this is cute? I love it. Here is the small frame, the brush your teeth long frame. It did really have some good wood and I really liked it. I took the backing off and I did just take all those screws and take all those hardware off. It's just easier to paint around. Make sure you clean your glass because when you find these at the thrift store, the glass is really dirty. So we're going to use the other Feathered Friends that has a background already on it. And we're going to take the white swan or the bead board and we're going to cover up that. Now I'm going back to the frame and I'm using the Sweet Pickins beeswax bar and I'm going to make sure some of this wood still comes shining through. Using liquid sunshine, I give it 2 solid coats of liquid sunshine. Using the Sweet Pickins artichoke color, I'm going to mix that up, equal parts water and milk paint. Stir that up. Yes, I did not clean my brush. I was okay if it had a little bit of yellow tint to it. And then I use the beeswax bar again from Sweet Pickins because this makes your milk paint chip really easily. And I wanted to make sure that it chipped and we could have some of the wood coming through and also some of that yellow. I thought it would be really pretty with that bird paper that we have going on. So now it's dried after 2 coats and I come back and I sand it, which is causing that chippiness to happen. And the frame is coming through, the wood frame and some of the yellow. And we're going to adhere this Feathered Friends onto this board. We're going to mist it and then using DIY's liquid patina, we're going to put this paper right onto this board. And I am using a heavy matte gel medium. You can find this in the description from my Amazon affiliate link. I found that with using rice paper, which is a little bit thicker, that this heavy gel matte medium makes sure your paper is adhered to your board. Liquid patina works great, but if you want to fast and make sure that it's adhered, use the heavy gel matte medium. It is a lifesaver. It's very thick and you can mix it with the liquid patina so you're not using very much of it. And it's going to last you a long time. Now I'm going back over and making sure that everything is laid down nicely. And I sanded the edges. I'm going back over with a heavy gel matte medium again because I want to put some wax and some dust on here. And I found that if you use just the liquid patina, you can still have it absorb into the paper. That heavy gel matte medium does not absorb into the paper. This is that warm dust again. It's going to give this a nice rusty, crusty look that's going to match the frame. And you can see I'm going over top of the birds here and just getting some of that dark dust on them. And when I go and wipe it off, I'm just doing this for your purpose, is it wipes it right off. If you wouldn't use the heavy gel matte medium, you would not get this effect. Heavy gel matte medium is the secret to using paper and any type of dark wax. So I went over and I laid the frame down on it. It's still too bright. I want it more rusty crusty. So I go in with the warm dust and I add a little bit of that age around the birds. Any place that you get it on, you can just wipe it right off. Much better. Now we're going to use the Sweet Pickins Dark Oil Wax, and we're going to oil wax this frame up. I did learn from one of my lives that you should leave the oil wax on for about 10 minutes. And so I did that this time. I just left it on for about 10 minutes, and I do believe that it stained up that paint and that wood a lot darker. I really like it. What about you? Here we are with the spindles that Julie had sent, just two random spindles. I really like the dark wood color that they have. So we're going to use that artichoke milk paint, but we're also going to add a little bit of haberdash that I had left and a little tiny bit of flour sack. We're just making more of a sagey green versus that dark artichoke green, which I absolutely loved this color. I think I might do it again sometime. So I'm going to go in and paint those spindles using that sagey green paint and not even making sure that I get covered all those little crevices because I do like the look of it. Now, when using milk paint, if it's not too dry, this was only like an hour, you can take a baby wipe, and once you start wiping it, all of a sudden it's going to start to activate the paint, and then some of it will start to come off with the baby wipe. And this is also going to cause it to start chipping because anytime you introduce water to the top of the milk paint, it will activate some chipping, which I am perfectly fine with. So you can see it did activate a little bit more of the chipping. We're going to seal these. I did put the disc on the top and the bottom. We're going to seal these with some Sweet Pickins dark wax, let it sit on for 10 minutes, and then wipe it back off. For the rusty crusty flower, I did like it. I liked it just as it is, but I thought let's just add a little bit of color. So I got out my cowgirl coral and a little bit of the painterly and I mixed them together. Then I started painting the petals, not making sure that I got it all, just randomly painting it. And I even painted over the rust, which I didn't want to do. But it is DIY paint, so you can just wipe that back. Then I went in with some beadboard and painted another layer, making it a little bit lighter. And then I dry brushed some even lighter pink on it. This flower is stunning now. And I really like the way that it's turning out. After it was dried, I distressed back to some of that metal, some of that rusty, crusty look. And I just waxed it all up. And it is a rusty, crusty pink flower now.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating when in my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl.
I was trying to find something to put the flower on, and I thought I can adhere it to this olive basket. I needed to paint this olive basket. It had some edges that I wanted to be rusty crusty, and so I just added the weathered wood and, you guessed it, clear wax and warm dust, and made my bucket all rusty. And the bonus, the flower is magnetic. It just sticks on there.
Tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms.
Here's my rusty crusty canister. I'm gonna let you see what I do with this.
Yeah, she's my country girl.
This is what I did to upcycle that rusty crusty pitcher. Is I came out to my garden and let's get some hydrangeas. When putting hydrangeas in water, you do not want any green leaves. You want to take all of them off the hydrangeas, and they are much better. The leaves will droop. I take a jar and set it inside that rusty crusty pitcher, and I go ahead and put the hydrangeas in, trimming the bottoms to give them the perfect height. And that is what I did with this rusty crusty pitcher. Do you like it?
Yeah, she's my country girl. She can let her hair down, but got her feet on the ground. I can't get enough of her. She can drive me so wild, just with that sweet smile, and there's nobody else for me.
What'd you think? What great stuff Julie sent me. This little life with Julie. She has some great taste. I think my favorite is this little pitcher that I didn't even do anything to besides put flowers in it. So Julie, thank you so much. I absolutely love it. If you're new here, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, give me a comment, tell me what your favorite was. I love to hear from each and every one of you. There's also a playlist for Sonnet's Creative membership group. They're all doing a video. There's so much to see. Go in the description, get the link for the playlist, and watch them all. If you need any products, you can find me at thepaintedphotographer.com, and I do sell my thrifted items, not that one, but I do sell some of the items that I upcycle, and some of the thrifted items. You can check them out there at thepaintedphotographer.com, or if you'd like any paint or products to make your own, they're also there, and I'll ship them right to your front door. Until next time, happy painting.
My heart starts racing every time I'm looking at her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing to me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy.